Hello and welcome to our virtual School of Education graduation ceremony. I'm Kathy Schultz, Dean of the CU Boulder School of Education, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our commencement ceremony, which has always been a lovely moment to honor our graduates across our programs, from certificates to doctoral degrees. Even though we cannot be together in person at this time, we are so pleased to use this familiar format to offer our heartfelt congratulations and to celebrate with all of you. We're grateful you could join us for this meaningful moment in our graduates' lives. While this past year has been difficult, and at times difficult beyond our imaginations, it has also taught us about ourselves and each other. Our graduates have faced challenges with grace, compassion, and creativity. Our teacher candidates and graduate students were able to navigate changes in their classrooms, their studies, and at home while centering the dignity of their students and peers and working through uncertainty and struggle with kindness. We have learned so much during this time and recognized again and again how our interconnection and care for one another are essential. As Dean, I'm constantly inspired by each of you as you continue to lead with compassion and fight for justice. Please remember that you are not leaving the School of Education. You are joining a network of committed alumni and supporters who share your commitments to making a difference in the world. The lived experiences and knowledge that you have shared with us have also helped to transform our school and our lives. You and your passion has been a source of profound hope, and that's what inspires us as we walk together into the future. Thank you for being with us today. We are grateful for this moment to pause and reflect. Recently, in the midst of a busy and difficult week, I was the first person to break ground on freshly fallen snow on an early morning hike up Mount Sanitas. The beauty of the snow always mutes, at least temporarily, the injustice and heaviness that has seemed to surround us recently. I was reminded of the power and pleasure of taking in the beauty that fills our everyday lives. As you reflect and move forward on your paths towards becoming educators, scholars, policymakers, and activists, I hope you will savor moments like these to pause, breathe, and take in the beauty that surrounds you. Thank you for all that you have brought to this day and for your many gifts. It's my pleasure now to pass the mic on to our keynote speaker and our faculty as we celebrate each of you and your accomplishments. Congratulations.
Good, College of Education graduates. I'm Gerardo Munoz. I am the 2021 Colorado Teacher of the Year and a 22-year veteran at the Denver Center for International Studies in Denver Public Schools. And it's a great honor to speak to you today. As I sort of reflect on the world that you're going into, it's full of uncertainty. And I want to share a little bit of my recent uncertainty to give you a perspective on how things have been for me the last year and how it's kind of helped me to become a better educator and a better leader. In March 2020, my work, just like a lot of folks' work, came to a screeching halt. I remember that last day, March 13th, when all of our students were in the building. The Latinx Student Alliance, which I co-sponsor, had put on a lunch period soccer tournament as a fundraiser. We had felt the uncertainty. We'd been hearing things over the few weeks leading up to that date that made us a little bit concerned. I remember I was trying to coordinate with my mom and stepdad to get my 9th grade daughter to her first junior varsity soccer game. She was really fired up. She really believed that she should have been on varsity and was eager to prove her worth. And then the game was canceled. And I remember looking at the faces of the senior girls who played soccer for a nearby high school as they discovered that their first game would be canceled. And it's almost like they knew what was coming before I did. I don't necessarily feel like I need to rehash what happened next. We all know what happened next. We've all been through it. We've all experienced this collective trauma. And over the course of the weeks that followed, I realized that everything that I had been trained to do, everything that I'd staked my educational experience in, everything that made me what I thought was a pretty dang good teacher was gone. I couldn't just talk to kids in the hall anymore and get to know them before they ever took my class. I couldn't hang out with kids in the cafeteria and listen to their debates. I couldn't walk around and check on my students, the ones who were quiet, the ones who seemed upset, the ones who seemed down, the ones who were tired, and just check in quietly and say, "Hey, you doing okay today?" All of that was gone. And I went through a real crisis of my own over the course of the next year. How was I going to ever be the teacher that I needed to be? Then it occurred to me, I needed to return to my place of origin. I actually needed to dig really deeply into the thing that brought me into education. And that was being connected to youth and helping form trusting relationships with adults so that they can feel successful, not just in school, but in life, so that they could come and be their true selves. And I'll tell you, there was nothing better than coming to that realization that it didn't matter how many technological platforms I learned or how creative my objectives were or the way I tracked my data. What I really needed in a time of crisis was to come back to my place of origin, to recognize what brought me here, and to ride that for the rest of the year. I'm not going to tell you this is going to be easy, y'all. You know it's not going to be easy. I imagine a lot of you have had internships and observations that show you that this will not be easy. But remember, as you go forth into this amazing field, teaching is not easy, teaching is exciting. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. As you go into this field, remember why you got here. Remember your place of origin. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Liz Meyer, and I'm the Associate Dean of Students, and it is my pleasure to honor our 13 outstanding graduates for the School of Education. Each year, several graduates are selected by faculty and honored with these outstanding graduate awards. This year, our undergraduates include a student working to use hip hop as a tool for racial healing, and a thoughtful, observant, and critically reflective teacher candidate. Sarah, who was nominated by her peers, accompanied Dean Schultz and helped represent our school at the campus-wide virtual ceremony that was held earlier today. Master's students were selected by their program faculty. This impressive group includes the founder of a tribal communities charter school and an award-winning photographer, and many more. This year, we reconfigured our doctoral outstanding graduates program to honor 3 different levels of outstanding performance: outstanding dissertation, outstanding teaching, and outstanding community engagement and public scholarship. These were difficult decisions, as all of our graduates are truly outstanding. We urge you to go online to meet each of these wonderful students and learn more about their stories and passions. Our outstanding undergraduates for leadership and community engagement was Sarah Swain, and for elementary education, Rachel Emmett. Our outstanding MA graduates include, in the MA Plus Teacher Licensure Program, Corey Ferrario, Literacy Studies, Erica Bednar, Humanities Education, Jax Gonzalez, STEM Education, Lauren Gaona, Educational Equity and Cultural Diversity, Michelle Lopez, Educational Foundations Policy and Practice, Justin Booz, Learning Sciences and Human Development, Leanna Nixon, and Higher Education, Catherine Lindauer. For our outstanding PhD graduates, the outstanding dissertation goes to Taffy Tivaringe. Our outstanding teaching award goes to Will Lindsay and Christine Zabala. And our outstanding community engagement and public scholarship award goes to Jason Buell. Please join me in recognizing the amazing accomplishments of this phenomenal group of graduates.
It's my honor and privilege to present to you the 2021 Elementary Teacher Education graduates. This year's elementary graduates are a particularly special group as they represent the final graduating class of our elementary licensure program and the very first graduating class of our 4-year BA program in elementary education. The 17 students graduating from the new BA have also earned an endorsement in cultural and linguistic diversity through their completion of a series of 7 courses that equip them to teach emerging bilingual learners, the fastest growing student population in Colorado and in many other states. In addition to preparing them to teach for equity and justice, including racial justice, this preparation positions these graduates as the kind of teachers schools most want to hire. All of the elementary graduates have worked incredibly hard, juggling the many responsibilities of courses and student teaching during a year full of complexity and heartbreak, and which many have recognized as an especially difficult year for teachers. We couldn't be prouder of this class, who we know will make the world more equitable and just through their work with children, families, and communities. Congratulations. Felicidades. Isabel Burke, Sadie Caven, Genesee Cowles, Taylor Crossan, Rachel Emmett, Grayson Filler, Riley Hovinen, Rosie Jennings, Cassidy Camby, Catherine Keaton, Jessica Lorita, Megan Monahan, Kira Mowbray, Sophia Nichols, Brittany O'Connor, Aiden Purdy, Penelope Sanchez.
It is my distinct honor to present the first ever graduating class to receive a Bachelor of Arts in Leadership and Community Engagement. This is only one of 10 majors in the entire country in this field, and these students are the cutting edge of social change. This major has a unique vision of leadership that emphasizes working with, not for communities, to build capacity collectively to address the most pressing issues of our time. As a new major, there have been bumps, but the students have been steadfast in their vision and have been excellent leaders during their time here at CU Boulder. They put all their studies together into their capstone course, where they added great value to organizations that are on the front lines of the work for racial justice. We are so proud of all the students. Congratulations. Aaron Bender, Mercedes Duran, Jack Miller, Matthew Perron, Jesse Steinbaum, Sarah Swain, Abby Rose.
And now I will announce the elementary licensure graduates. Hope Archibeke, Emily Bayer, Jessica Buckner, Emma Dugan, Gabrielle Garcia, Fee Kamenis, Bethany Morton, Emily Russo, Erin Adelaine Shea, Sarah Whitehead, Catherine Wooden.
We are now delighted to present the graduates who have earned their licensure through our range of secondary licensure programs. James Tranchetti, Maggie Hartman, Madsen Lazaway Macumsey, Simon Pasillas, Rachel Swanson, Christopher Ryan Taylor,
Eva Anna Shansley, Ariel Chen, Caleb Dixon, Mallory Graves, Mira Hickey, Nicholas Johnson, Zachary Cambor, Dylan Coaster, Christopher Norwood, Nathan Park, Sean Rahusin, Kayla Schleeper, Holly Sidney, Justin Slaman, Zachariah Smith, Callan Thompson, Declan Wilcox, Caitlin Wozniak, McKinley Kopic, Elena DeAndrea, Ryan Espuga, Rebecca Ka, Suhe Miranda Gandaria, Catherine Patterson, Blair Rodriguez.
Master of Arts, Education with Certificate, Master's Plus. Peter Brandis. Wai Git Dang. Lauren Gauna. David Londorf. William Peterson. Dylan Price. Jessica Schuster. Brooke Michelle Tingy. Patrick Bailey. John Barkijija. Garrett Cece. Sarah Cooley. Haley Eswine. Corey Bureau. Gabriel Fishman. Max Funk. Jack Garrity. Mark Goodman. Clinton Henderson. Ashley Hershey. Brian Allen Johnson. Charles Christian Koss. Jacob Marsing. Kelly Murphy. Lauren Ogg. Kenneth Santiago. Taylor Schock. Kimberly Nicole Scherner. Nicole Schoenemann. Catherine Sterling. Brett Wildstein.
Master of Arts, Education. Jenny Paola Rincon Aguirre. Lindsay Christine Arias. Jimena Paola Babilonia. Blair Bailey. Jacqueline Margaret Ballesteros. Erin Toba Beauregard. Christina Benton. Angela Bergman. Megan Marie Boss. Emily Brees. Diane Bustillos. Miguel Dario Castillo. Vicky Davis. Kara Dreyfus. Astrid Lucia Duame. Catherine Louise Ebinger. Farah Imami. Doris Isabel Esqueda. Marnie Christina Green. Marce Guisha Casillas. Adriana Angelica Gutierrez. Stephanie Gutierrez. Eric Bonilla Guzman. Tori Janelle Hardy. Laurel Hauk. Mark Stephen Haxton. Carly Louise Hilmer. Bethany Lisette Isaacson. Faith Elizabeth Jessup Scott. Amanda Jones. Tessa Connick. Megan Lynn Crater. Bradford Lardner. Susanna Leon Weber. Michelle Lopez. Erica Macias. Olga Hanisa Martinez. Joel Marzoff. Kyle Mason. Tara McClanahan. Claudia Menendez. Brittany Gutierrez Meras. Delia Teresa Mesa. Erika Patricia Franco Millares, Matthew Moeller, Will Moore, Amanda Joy Morrison, Michelle Lynn Morrison, Michael Newcomb, Cecilia Juliana Adriansen Oviat, Connor Payne, Nelia Joanne Bena, Melinda Phipps, Lane Preston, Angelica Ramirez, Rosa Cristina Reyes Martinez, Paola Andrea Sanchez, Nathan Savick, Gabrielle Schauer, Emily Schluhuber, Talia Shapiro, Hunter William Smith, Suzanne Spezano, Natalie Louise Stockley, Judy Alexandra Ramirez Torres, Claudia Alejandra Valle, Elizabeth Davila Velez, David Vermillion, Erica Wagner, Eric Michael Walls, Katie Sovine West, Marisol Guaremate, Bailey Winter, Mark Stephen Wright Jr., Mabel Romero Sardus,
Megan Allen, Johanny Waleska Amaya, Justin Michael Booz, Elizabeth Graham Nemorwitz, Jonathan E. Sawyer, Abigail Sarah Tracer, Talia Ray Watson, Eliza Catherine Williams, Erica Bednar, Emily Bonder, John J. Flanagan, Catherine Ford, Michelle Frierson, Jacqueline J. Gonzalez, Marilyn Lee Hartzell, Elise Ann Hill, Taylor Lucio, Jessica Mold, Nicole Nightenbach, Andrea Ibairu G. Noronha Sales, Cheyenne Thieberge, Elise Volpe, Rebecca Wild, Danielle Shaw Attaway, Rosalie Bigunjari, Eduardo Francis Fiallos, Leanna Nixon, Rachel Von Holst, Monica Armstrong, Shelby Branch, Hannah Claire Childers, Lucia Jacqueline Alsmith, Rachel Hammond, Charisse Lamour, Catherine Lindauer, Genevieve Forst McNellis, Ulysses Mendoza, Brooke Nelson, Hector Eduardo Parra, Casey Nicole Rosser, Hannah Sigmundson, Madeline Wright.
Jason Yakichi Buell. Dr. Jason Buell completed his doctorate in STEM education in the summer of 2020. His dissertation was embedded within a long-term research practice partnership with a local school district that he has been instrumental in cultivating since 2014. By drawing together readings from the philosophy of science, science studies, and science education, Dr. Buell developed a new framework for understanding the types and purposes of models students create to represent their understandings of everyday phenomena as they learn about energy in high school physics, chemistry, and biology. He analyzed co-designed formative assessment tasks to better understand the affordances of these tasks in helping students show what they know. During his time at CU, Dr. Buell also dedicated his time to supporting the School of Education and CU Boulder community, mentoring countless undergraduate and graduate students, serving as co-founder of the student-run journal, The Assembly, as an advisor to the McNair Scholars Program, and a board member of the Teachers of Color and Allies. He is currently a postdoctoral scholar at Northwestern University. Congratulations, Dr. Buell.
Amy Burkhart. Amy Burkhart has earned her PhD in the Research and Evaluation Methodology program, where she completed a dissertation entitled On 3 Different Classification Tasks with Unobservable Latent Traits. A common thread in the 3 distinct studies that comprise her dissertation is the challenge and affordance of using statistical models to support human judgment in classificatory tasks. She considers classificatory judgments that arise in the context of the variability in emotions expressed by students in a collection of writing samples from essay responses, the attitudes about testing expressed by individuals on Twitter, and the sophistication with which high school students demonstrate their understanding of important scientific concepts. Each study illustrates Amy's skillfulness in arriving at creative solutions to complex problems. Amy's research is truly interdisciplinary, combining skills she has developed in educational research with the specialization she sought out in natural language processing, coursework in linguistics and cognitive science. Amy has been beloved by fellow students and faculty alike for her curiosity, thoughtfulness, and wonderful sense of humor. Congratulations, Dr. Burkhart.
Jeffrey Bush. Jeffrey Bush earned his doctorate in curriculum and instruction, mathematics education. In his dissertation, Jeff completed 3 related studies that examined ways in which mathematics teachers used technology to support student progress towards instructional goals. Using a randomized crossover trial and 2 mixed methods case studies that included video analyses of teacher practice, the findings from this collection of studies offered complementary perspectives documenting how different instructional technologies can mediate the formative assessment process. Given the rapid increase in the use of instructional technology to support teaching and learning during the pandemic, these studies provide specific evidence of ways in which teachers use technology-mediated formative assessment to manage the complexity of information they use to adapt instruction and support student engagement and learning. A manuscript for one of Jeff's dissertation studies was recently accepted for publication in the British Journal of Educational Technology. Dr. Bush is currently a research associate for the Institute of Cognitive Sciences at CU Boulder, where he studies and supports teacher use of inquiry-oriented curricula. Congratulations, Jeff. Rajendra Chattergoon. Rajendra Chattergoon has earned his PhD in the Research and Evaluation Methodology program. His dissertation demonstrates how psychometric modeling can be used to evaluate the quality of assessment tasks designed to provide diagnostic insights into student learning. Raj's work is an extremely valuable resource for science educators in their effort to develop innovative assessments motivated by cognitive learning theories. The incredibly high quality of his dissertation, described by one famous member of his committee as the best she had ever read, calls to mind an anecdote from earlier in his graduate career in which his fastidiousness was so widely appreciated by his colleagues that some began to use his name as a verb, as in, wow, you really Rajed that presentation. Raj is currently working as a research scientist for Lexia Learning, where he is coordinating studies for the purpose of evaluating and improving the efficacy of educational technology designed to support English language acquisition among emergent bilingual learners. Congratulations, Dr. Chattergood.
Maria de los Angeles Osorio de la Rosa Cooper. Maria de los Angeles Osorio de la Rosa Cooper earned her PhD in Equity, Bilingualism, and Biliteracy. Using community-based participatory research, CBPR, to guide her work, she joined a research collective known as Las Comadres. Together, they designed and conducted this study aimed at identifying and articulating root causes of the tumultuous relationships and chronic and historical distrust between Mexican immigrant and Mexican American families and school district educators in one local school district. CPBR emphasizes research that is done with communities and not on them. The study examined parent participation and engagement in multidimensional ways and from different stakeholders' perspectives through interviews, documents, and historical analysis. Findings revealed extensive funds of knowledge that participating families employed to be involved with and support their children in school. Most of this knowledge was unknown and/or not acknowledged by school officials, tended to focus on the need for school-centric parent participation and engagement as a means to compensate for perceived family deficits. Findings suggested a need for dual capacity building between families and schools and recommended a set of community-generated actions that the district could enact to transform school experiences of Latinx, Spanish-speaking students in positive ways. Felicidades, Angeles.
Monica Rose Gilmore. Monica Gilmore earned her doctorate in STEM education. Concerned with the ways that language was treated in mathematics teaching and learning, Dr. Gilmore set out to understand how mathematics teachers managed language in their classrooms and the impact of these practices on emerging bilingual students. A former mathematics teacher, Dr. Gilmore understood the importance of supporting students in bringing all of their linguistic resources to their learning. In her dissertation, entitled Translanguaging in Mathematics Learning, Teacher Instructional and Additional Supports, Dr. Gilmore collaborated with two mathematics teachers to study what they noticed about language in moments of classroom activity, how they responded to these moments, and the spaces for the translanguaging that emerged. As Dr. Gilmore describes, these spaces emerged when teachers were paying close attention to student energy, their vulnerability, and opportunities to position multiple languages as a resource. Dr. Gilmore returned to the classroom at Casey Middle School, where she employs her translanguaging perspective on a daily basis. She also just welcomed her first child into the world. Congratulations, Monica.
Aaron Micah Guggenheim. Aaron Guggenheim earned his doctorate in literacy studies. A former high school English teacher, Dr. Guggenheim was a valued member of research teams and an accomplished graduate instructor during his time at CU Boulder. His dissertation, Story Through Sound, Narrative Podcasting for More Just Futures, is a study in which he co-designed, co-studied, and co-taught a narrative podcasting project with a high school ELA teacher at an alternative high school. He partnered with the teacher to design a curriculum that brought theory around critical literacy and sound studies into the classroom as students used sound and interviews to compose powerful narrative podcasts about issues that they found meaningful in their lives. As he explains, his study reaffirmed his values, building and sustaining meaningful relationships and partnerships with K-12 teacher colleagues and youth as foundational to not only recognizing the realities of day-to-day experiences in classrooms, but also to producing meaningful instructional shifts and opportunities for youth to center their knowledge, stories, and literacies in school. Congratulations, Darren.
Dina Gumina. Dr. Dina Gumina completed her doctorate in equity, bilingualism, and biliteracy in December 2020. Her dissertation is titled Bilingual Teacher Agency, Possibilities for Action When High-Stakes Accountability and Bilingual Language Policies Interact. Motivated by her own experiences as a bilingual elementary teacher in Denver Public Schools and her work as a teacher educator in CU Boulder's elementary teacher education program, Dina used her dissertation to explore the agentive possibilities of bilingual teachers who are caught in a web of constraining policies, including high-stakes accountability policies and restrictive language policies. Importantly, rather than focusing on constraints and harms, Dina's study focused on the possible. As a result, Dina's dissertation offers highly actionable insights that can inform efforts to teach in ways that honor bilingual students' cultural and linguistic knowledge and practices. During her time at CU, Dina held various positions in and made critical contributions to the elementary teacher education program and research and teaching projects within the Bueno Center. Dr. Gumina currently serves as director of TILDA, Teachers Improving Learning in Dual Education, a professional development project for practicing teachers. Dina will join the elementary teacher education program as an assistant professor of practice in fall 2021. Warmest congratulations, Dina. Sarah Elizabeth LaCour. Sarah LaCour earned her PhD in Educational Foundations, Policy and Practice. In her dissertation, You Get What You Get, No Matter the Fit, an examination of access to opportunity under a school choice system, Sarah analyzed the extent to which the cumulative set of choice options for students in Louisiana genuinely provide high school students with access to quality schools. After taking into account issues of access, such as geography and admissions requirements, as well as school quality. More broadly, Sarah is equally at home conducting legal analyses or quasi-experimental analyses, but always bringing to bear an equity lens. She is currently an assistant professor in the College of Education at the University of Kentucky, where she also serves as the assistant director of the college's Education and Civil Rights Initiative. In addition to enjoying her horse country, she, along with her husband Rodney, is expecting her first child in July. Congratulations, Professor LaCour, on all fronts. William Edward Lindsay. Will Lindsay is a consummate teacher educator who is transforming science education both through his teaching and his research. His broad, practical understanding of teaching, as well as deep knowledge of educational research and content, has tremendous value for future teachers. Will leverages the practices of science to create empowering learning environments. For example, students in his classes learn to advocate for themselves using evidence and consensus rather than appealing solely to the textbook and teacher for answers. These empowering environments help students learn to love themselves through science rather than in spite of it. Will's humanistic approach also applies to his research on institutional change. Instead of conceiving of educational reform in terms of an endpoint, he talks about reforming, a natural, constant state that defines institutions such as schools, classrooms, and districts. By rejecting traditional notions of reform in terms of success and failure, Will's research repositions reform into a realistic, ongoing human experience.
Jose Ortiz. Jose Ortiz is committed to educational equality, social justice, and improving the experiences of Latinx students. His dissertation examines how Latinx students within a summer program used a form of narrative known as testimonios to make sense of and understand their emotions. Drawing on literature that centers culture and race, Dr. Ortiz demonstrated how students in the CU Aketsa program use testimonials to process their lived experiences. These research findings have important implications for the ways educators incorporate socio-emotional learning programs in their classrooms and how to serve Latinx youth. Dr. Ortiz is currently an assistant professor of foundations and social advocacy at the State University of New York, Portland.
Mary Ann Quantz. Mary Quantz earned her PhD in Educational Foundations, Policy and Practice. In her dissertation, Advocating for Gender and Sexual Diversity in Hostile Contexts, the Experiences of K-12 Educators in Religiously Conservative Communities, Mary analyzed interview data with teachers through a queer theoretical lens. She developed an innovative way of calculating a community's religiously conservative score and connected that with the localized challenges experienced by teachers who work to proactively create safer learning environments for LGBTQ students by enacting queer gestures to build queer futures. Mary's leadership in the SOE and mentorship of other PhD students will be sorely missed. She was a founding member of the student-run journal, The Assembly, and helped develop teaching supports for other graduate students who teach Education 3013, School and Society. Her commitments to equity and justice-oriented teaching is continuing as she returns to the classroom. She is currently a high school English teacher in St. Vrain Valley School District. Warm congrats, Dr. Quantz. Jody Ann Slavic. Jody Slavic earned her PhD in Equity, Bilingualism, and Biliteracy. Using Freire's critical pedagogies, Dr. Slavic explored the agency of 3 veteran bilingual teachers who advocated for themselves and their students through the rise and fall of bilingual programming in their district. Dr. Slavic engaged the focal teachers in a series of interviews and critical reflection sessions to problematize, dialogue, and problem solve and act on past and current tensions in their school environment. Findings revealed that the teachers experienced the most attention when relating to administrators who held divergent racial and linguistic ideologies from the teachers. Her findings resulted in practical and scholarly implications to support bilingual teacher advocates as they navigate daily tensions that they face in their school environments. Dr. Slavic is currently working as a professional research associate and director of professional development within Literacy Squared, a biliteracy project housed within the Bueno Center in the University of Colorado's School of Education.
Maravine Taylor Heine. Maravine Taylor Heine has completed her doctorate in learning sciences and human development. Her dissertation is titled Learning, Identity, and Power in a Multi-Voice Movement for Education Reform. In her study, Mara focused on the development of youth activists through their engagement in the opt-out standardized testing movement, which was a predominantly white middle-class movement framed as a collective action for social justice. It was especially vibrant in Colorado, where she conducted her research. The questions that led her dissertation focused on how diverse groups of people across age, race, and socioeconomic background can develop solidarity to engage in progressive social movements. Grounded in her roots in feminist methodology and theory, Mara's study draws critical attention to what often goes unnoticed, undervalued, and taken for granted. Her analysis considers how whiteness functions as a discourse that silences discussions of race and renders them unimportant. Mara's dissertation research provides insight into how young white people develop identities and skills as activists for progressive change. It also offers practical advice for how we can better support young people in their activist efforts. Warmest congratulations, Mara. We're going to read Kelsey Mills-Tain's blurb together because Erin Furtak and I are both her co-authors. Kelsey Tain earned her doctorate in learning sciences and human development and STEM education. Kelsey's dissertation research addresses a significant, if not the most significant, socio-environmental issue facing us today, climate change. The focus of her dissertation is on how to support youth in engaging in scientifically grounded action on climate change. Coordinated action across scales of practice, as Kelsey argues, is necessary to effect real change on the climate crisis. However, the discourse around action is often focused on personal behavior change.
This is a limiting approach that blames individuals for problems that are structural, cultural, and historical. Addressing problems like climate change that have deep and tangled roots can overwhelm youth and make them feel hopeless. Taking this as a starting point, Kelsey worked with educators to co-design learning environments that supported young people in imagining and enacting collective solutions for a sustainable future. Her approach generates radical hope and possibility with youth at its center. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kelsey. Tafadzwa Godwill Tiviringe. Tafadzwa Taffy Tiviringe completed his doctorate in learning sciences and human development. He completed a 3-article dissertation titled The Possibilities and Limits of Using Education as a Lever for Structural Transformation. His first study, published in Education and Evaluation Policy Archives, analyzed nationally representative data from South Africa and found that structural factors limited the impact of a university degree on labor force participation among certain groups. His second study, published in the Journal of the Learning Sciences, drew on ethnographic research in South Africa to understand the development of a multi-generational movement fighting for more just education policies. His third article, based on data from alumni of college support programs in the United States, examines the role of social networks in facilitating career success. Together, this empirically rigorous work helps us understand how education policy can be a vehicle for addressing inequality by empowering marginalized groups across diverse international contexts. During his time at CU, Taffy has also contributed immeasurably to public scholarship through his skillful evaluation of CU Engage programs and his dedication to collaborative partnerships with the Research Hub for Youth Organizing. Makoro Koto Amflope, Taffy.
Christine Marie Zabala. Christine Zabala earned her doctorate in literacy studies. An experienced writing teacher in college and university contexts, Dr. Zabala has led and supported several research projects, coordinated CU Boulder's online composition hub, and been a graduate instructional leader for the Center for Teaching and Learning. Her dissertation, The Role of Queer Literacies in a Required Diversity Course, is a study of her own teaching, investigating the impact of curricular and instructional innovations related to critical pedagogies and queer literacies in a course taken by many undergraduates on campus. She brings a deeply reflexive approach to her analysis of her course design and students' responses to the critical goals and relational methods she employed, including the sudden shift to online in the wake of COVID-19. As she argues, failure and discomfort in teaching and learning can and must be reframed as generative, necessary aspects of undergraduate courses, particularly when the content requires students and instructors to do the vulnerable work of critical examination of self, others, and systemic oppressions. This work holds significant implications for scholarship in queer literacies, as well as for universities' pursuit of courses intended to address diversity as required components of undergraduate curriculum. Congratulations, Christine.
Congratulations, graduates, and thank you for all you do in making the world a better place through education.
Moxie and I are wishing you a happy congratulations on graduation in an especially hard year. Way to go.
Congratulations, graduates. We're very proud of you. Look forward to seeing all the things that you'll accomplish in the world, but we also hope you'll stay in touch and come back to visit. Congratulations.
We are so excited that you are graduating. Thank you for being part of the STEM education community. You will be sorely missed, but we know you're going to go on to wonderful futures, and please stay in touch with us too. So
we look forward to future collaborations.
Congratulations, 2021 graduates. It's been such an honor working with you. You're going to do great things.
Woohoo! Congratulations. I am so excited for all our graduates, and I'm going to give a special shout out to our first ever graduating class in leadership and community engagement. I'm so proud of you all for persevering through such a difficult year and doing such great work. Bravo.
Woo! Congratulations, education buffs. We're so proud of you.
Happy graduation.
We're so proud of you.
Congratulations, graduates. It takes a lot to complete a PhD in the middle of a pandemic, and I tip my cap to you.
Congratulations, graduates. What an accomplishment in such a challenging year.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jesus Rodriguez, and as a proud alum and as the executive director of the Bueno Center for Multicultural Education, I wanted just to extend a huge congratulations to each of you on your graduation today.
I want to wish all of you congratulations on your graduation. It's so exciting, from our undergraduate licensure students to our Masters and Masters Plus, all the way to our fantastic doctoral students. I'm so proud of you all. Congratulations. Woo-hoo!
Congratulations, Ed Buffs. It's been a privilege to work alongside of you and to witness everything you've achieved. We're looking forward to your next chapters, and just remember, we are all here rooting for you. With love and luck, cheers.
To our secondary humanities master's degree plus licensure graduates, as faculty, instructors, field coaches, advisors, and support people in our program, we are so grateful to have worked with you this year and are excited to celebrate you as you begin the important, powerful work of teaching. Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Woo! Congratulations, graduates!
When you stop learning how to teach, you stop teaching people how to learn. When we embrace every human being as somebody from whom we can learn, we really work towards a more racially just place to live. Thank you for paying it forward. Woo!
We're so excited for you. Congratulations. Year of all years. You made it, you did it, and you did it with style. Can't wait to see what you're doing in the world, and please don't be a stranger. We would love to see you and stay in touch.
Congratulations, literacy studies students.
Woohoo!
Congratulations. Congratulations, grads. Go Buffs.
Congratulations, graduates in the class of 21. I'm proud of you and all you do as teachers, researchers, and social change leaders.
My name is Kathy Escamilla, and I'm a professor emerita from CU Boulder. And from an old buff to all of you young buffs, I want to say congratulations. Les deseo mucho, mucho éxito en el futuro. Careers in education are simply the best. Onward y adelante. Thank you.
Hi, this is Susan Giroux from the Learning Sciences and Human Development Program, and this is Reggie. We want to wish you warmest congratulations on your awesome achievement. You are all kinds of wonderful.
Congratulations, graduates. I'm so excited to see you go out and change the world.